Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is George Schlacek, and I love flying drones. Mostly, I enjoy capturing the ever-changing landscape of places around me throughout the seasons and even the daily changes. For the past year and a half, I've been using Mavic, my DJI Mini 2, and it's been a blast. I honestly have to say that before buying this drone, I didn't think it was going to be any good because of its size. I mean, this thing weighs less than 250 grams. Wouldn't a wind gust just blow it away, making it useless for any serious flying and filming? Especially here in Alberta, where strong wind is a regular occurrence. Thanks to the internet and much good advice, I eventually gave in and bought one. I think it was a strong endorsement by Captain Drone in response to one of my comments. Oh, in case you're not familiar with Captain Drone, that's a guy from Ottawa who has a fantastic channel with reviews of all the drones on the market. It's like the land of milk and honey for drones. Well, when I first flew this drone, I knew instantly that it was on an entirely different level than the two budget drones I had flown before. Surprisingly, the wind resistance was far better than that of some bigger drones, and the GPS was far more precise. It's amazing what DJI pulled off. And while I found this drone expensive before I bought it, that changed immediately when I started using it. This thing is a bargain when you truly consider what you're getting for your money. Seriously, try to buy just a well-stabilized action camera that compares to the one on the Mini 2 and you'll probably pay close to the same price, only that it can't fly. Well, for about a year and a half, I didn't even come close to exploring the limitations of this drone. Honestly, if you're buying a drone for social media or even your YouTube channel, this is all you need. But when you fly a lot and you're trying to capture the world in different lighting conditions and in challenging weather, eventually you'll run into situations where it doesn't do so well. For me, the main ones have been low or harsh light, and here we go again, strong wind. I've been able to get good nighttime footage of my city, but it wasn't really captured at night. There's usually a window of opportunity for it shortly after sunset. The streetlights are on and cars have their headlights turned on, but it isn't completely dark yet. That lasts only 10 or 15 minutes, so your timing has to be perfect. As for wind, there's no good way around it. While the Mini 2 flies good in the wind, usually the gimbal doesn't stay centered and it still gets blown around a bit too much to get really smooth footage from the angle you're trying to capture. Since about October of this year, I've been contemplating the options of flying a drone commercially. Why not capture footage and aerial photos for others who might use it for their promotional website? Then, of course, there's real estate. Large properties can best be captured from the air. Why not market a skill I have been able to acquire basically on my own because of a passionate pursuit? It really was a no-brainer, but that's where the easy decisions stopped. To offer drone photography and video commercially, I had to upgrade. There were several options up for consideration. The first one was buying the upgraded DJI Mini 3 Pro. This drone has a much improved wind resistance despite still weighing under 250 grams. It also has automated flight modes due to the addition of obstacle avoidance sensors. And last but not least, the camera has been upgraded. Is there still a good reason to buy a bigger drone? This is a loaded question. Flying a sub 250 gram drone exempts you from many of the aviation regulations here in Canada. Where I live, this is huge. All bigger drones need to be registered and you're not allowed to fly them without a license. You're also required to keep a record of all your flights and maintenance procedures. Non-compliance can lead to hefty fines. Even the operating temperature range becomes all important all of a sudden because the rules state clearly that you must not fly your drone outside of that range. It means that flying a heavier drone in my part of the world may be a seasonal activity. I've flown the Mini in minus 15 degrees Celsius and it worked fine. There's only a minor reduction in the battery life. While this is certainly not recommended, some of the most beautiful images can be captured when everything is frozen. With the Mini, you basically have the freedom to do it as long as you take proper precautions. According to the Canadian definitions, this isn't even a remote-controlled aircraft. With the heavier drone, that is different. Once you're licensed, you have the privilege to operate it under certain conditions, and those are much more restrictive. While a bigger drone has obvious advantages over a sub 250 gram one, they come with strings attached. With the Mini drones getting better and better, it's not an easy decision to upgrade to a bigger drone, especially not if you're a recreational flyer. I've received my Air 2S from Amazon almost 2 weeks ago and only had it up in the air for a few brief moments when temperatures were a bit milder. The mission was just to make sure that I bought a fully functional unit. Now it's winter here and it might be 3 months or more before I can really use this drone. Even then, I'll have to be a lot more careful about where to fly it. My idea is to offer a service, so it would mostly be controlled from someone's private property, but flying on city property will require a permit, and that can only be obtained once you buy insurance. I had to think long and hard which drone to upgrade to. The Mini 3 Pro seems amazing on paper, so why not just jump on that and keep flying happily without having authority look over my shoulder? Well, in the end, I decided to get the Air 2S because of the obvious advantages that come with a drone that wasn't designed just around the weight specification. This drone has one of the best cameras available on the consumer market, and it should be able to deliver great results, even in windy conditions. I've watched a ton of review videos, and even those critical of DJI drones highly recommend this drone. The decision wasn't so much about whether to get a bigger drone or not. It was more about getting serious about flying commercially. In order to be taken seriously, there are some hurdles to overcome. Getting an advanced license and flying within certain rules that you have to know is all part of that. So is obtaining proper insurance. This is why I bought the Air 2S. I see it as a first step into a new business venture. Would I recommend it for someone who's flying as a hobby? From what I think I know today, I would not. Save yourself the hassle of having to adhere to strict rules and passing an exam if you're just flying for fun. Because the technology you can use unrestricted is fantastic and actually pretty close to that of the big drones. Having said that, however, I cannot stress enough that you should still be aware of the rules and what it means to fly safely. While the aviation regulations in Canada don't apply to the mini drones, you will still be held liable if you cause harm to anyone, which is certainly possible if you're not careful. So in conclusion, let me state that no matter how small, those drones aren't toys. It actually bothers me when they're marketed as such. This seems to be the case mostly with FPV drones, which are awesome, but must not be used without a visual observer here in Canada. Flying drones is easy to get into with a sub 250 gram drone. Once you learn how to fly it, well, you'll probably know for yourself if you want to take it any further. For me, I see a future in it, especially now that I'm at a point in my life where I'd like to retire from a business involving intense labor and high overheads. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful. And hey, you're still here, so please take a moment to hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, consider that too. I'll see you soon in another video.